Today I'm going to be providing some anime recommendations. I'm going to tell you guys a few of my top favorites. I'm going to give you a little description along with the title, and then you guys can decide from that if it's something you're interested in watching. And with that, let's get started. First off, just to get this off my chest, my anime recommendations are in no specific order because I totally suck at choosing favorites, but I'm going to name one of the more mainstream ones that are one of my favorites, which would be Future Diary. This is about, this guy's supposed to be 14, and he is a diary user, and he has this special diary on his cell phone that randomly starts telling him the future, and then it turns out that he's involved in some big elaborate plan, and it's one of those animes where it's like there's a death game, and all these people want to fight to the death, and one of them is going to be on top and be like the king of the universe, and it's really violent. It's one of those animes, I don't know if it's crazy gory, but it's definitely gory. Has violence in it, but it's one of my favorites. It's a very popular cosplay. You probably know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, you might want to go check it out if you like a psychological kind of anime with gore and horror and other violence. Since I am starting off with the more mainstream known animes first, just to get them out of the way, I'm going to put at number 2 Deadman Wonderland, which is essentially about there's this boy and his entire class is assassinated by a killer, and instead of killing this boy, he has some kind of red shard like implanted in his chest, and then there's some random drama, and he's suspected as being the murderer because he's the last classmate, and he ends up being like sentenced to death at this certain prison that also doubles as being a theme park, which is really interesting. But it's definitely a very gory anime, and the ending is one of those that might make you angry. At least it did for me. But the summary I'm providing is a very basic summary you'd find anywhere you looked it up. That's why I feel comfortable giving this much away about it. But if you want to watch a gory anime that has, I think, some pretty unique characters, then you'd probably like Deadman Wonderland. The third thing on my list that I'm going to give you is Elfen Lied. I'm so sorry if that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm going to say it. This is essentially about a boy who's the first character, one of the first characters you meet. He's had this really traumatic past, and there's been a murder, and he's had some problems, but he's definitely a pretty nice guy if you ask me. And he's going to live in this really big cabin, and he's getting back together with like an old cousin. And it's also super intertwined with the idea that there are these characters that have vectors, which are like these invisible arms that you can't see, and like they're extremely dangerous, and a lot of them are locked up. But you're going to be meeting a lot of characters who have vectors, and there's a lot of violence, and it's definitely a psychological anime. So if you like violent pink-haired anime babes and psychological thriller kind of animes, then you'll probably be in love with this one. Next on my list, this is an excellent anime, and I would recommend this to literally anyone. It is called Erased. It's about this man who has this special ability that sometimes occurs where he's able to flash back like a certain amount of time before something happens, like in time to stop something. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm going to say that of course he's going to do something really drastic and important with this ability. It's definitely an anime that messes with your mind. Very psychological anime. Kind of emotional, I would say. There's a lot that happens that has you sitting on the edge of your seat, and it's an anime I would watch over and over, except I can't, because directly after watching it, I have to sit down for like 10 minutes and like think about life and just kind of go, But it's definitely worth watching if you like those kind of psychological animes that make you question life and go, oh crap. Okay, I would like to say I'm going to slow it down on the emotional animes, but oh goodness no! This is the most emotional anime I've ever seen. It puts, I would say, lots of other animes to shame. Completely to shame. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it no matter what you like, because I still think it's so good. This anime is called Nana. And you wouldn't guess by the name or even like the description or anything how good it is. Like, no one understands how good this anime is. Not as many people have seen this anime, I've noticed. It's about two girls who share the exact same name. One of them is a girl named Nana, who is a complete follower who's obsessed with the idea of finding the one and falling in love. And the second Nana is like a rocker girl who's in like an alternative punk kind of style of singing and music, and she's trying to make it big as a singer or make it big as a band. And just these two girls are obviously going to meet, and they're going to become close, and a lot's going to go down, and it's going to tear your heart apart. I'm sorry, but it is. It's so worth watching, and I definitely recommend watching it anyway if you're okay with it being soul-gripping and heart-ripping, and yeah, but no words. I like the ending, but not all people do, and there's a lot of debate about this anime. But if you're okay with an emotional anime that I would be shocked if you didn't cry during, I would definitely recommend you watch Nana. This next anime I would like to mention mostly because I'd like to give a little warning to people who haven't watched it or have tried to watch it and given up on it. This anime is called ReZero. It's become extremely popular. If you've seen the cosplay with twin maids who have pink and blue hair, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This anime has become crazy popular. Not everyone shares this opinion I'm about to give, but I've found that a lot of people do agree with me on this, who I'm friends with or know. The very first episode of this anime, when I watched it, it totally turned me off the anime. In fact, before the anime even became a craze or it came up again or I saw it again, I had tried to watch it when I first saw it on kissanime.to, and I hated the first episode, turned it off. But I ended up giving it another chance. I rewatched the first episode and watched it, and past the first episode, it's an amazing anime. Like, a lot goes down, and the characters are so interesting, and the cosplay opportunities are amazing. But I'm just giving a little warning to you guys that if you turn it on and you totally hate it, I would recommend waiting on your decision to hate it until after the first episode. Because for some people, just the first episode isn't very good, but it is worth the wait, and it's worth the watch overall. Really quick for people who may not have seen ReZero, it's an anime about this boy who randomly transports to another universe or world, and he's going to meet up with a lot of different people and have to redo a lot of different violent scenes until he gets certain things right. And that's all I'm going to tell you, so I don't totally spoil this like I may have others on here. I'm so sorry if there's killer spoilers, but these are a few of my top animes that I can mention right now. I will make some other videos, and thank you guys so much for watching.